Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 115. I know I've had a tough couple of weeks, and it's part of the process, and I get it. And I'll be back on track, and today is the first step. I'm going to continue to do the things that I know are the right things, and I know in the long term it has always worked out for all these years already. I woke up this morning not feeling great. I don't know if that's part of what's been going on, but headache, stomach ache, just not feeling great overall. But we're going to push on. We've got hours and hours and hours before reaching our destination for today, so I got plenty of time to sit back and relax, and I should feel better pretty soon. I thought, yeah, I've got some water here, and just gonna sit back and relax. It's hot today already. It's 72 degrees early in the morning. We're heading off to a major area where I can get lots of action down, and hopefully we have some good variance today and start feeling better. So I'm also thinking about visiting a casino that has a slot in position that's a very high risk slot at a very high denomination, like $20 a spin. So you'll need $6,000 to $8,000 to run that one. So I'll probably go ahead and do that as well. We'll see how it goes. So right now I'm going to sit back and relax and head off to my first casino, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, so still on my way to the first casino. Last night I dropped off one of my kids to kind of like a camp. It's college kids teaching younger kids the sport that, they play. And while she was there, I sat in the parking lot and called a friend of mine. This is the friend that I moved to Vegas a year and a half ago, or whenever it was. And we talked for about an hour and a half on the phone. And we realized how much we used to lean on each other. And we're both kind of going through this point in our life where we're kind of like, where am I going? What's my direction? He feels pretty alone out there, even though he's with his brother. He's doing well. His health is better, but every once in a while he falls off the wagon, so to speak. His big things were smoking, eating, and gambling. And he quit smoking a long time ago. And gambling wise, they go once or twice a week, and his brother gives them like $50 to play with, so that's not a problem anymore. But eating is still a problem, and he's got diabetes, and his brother died from it, and his other brother died from it. And every once in a while he'll go nuts and just eat stuff that he's not supposed to, like a huge amount. And even though he's lost a lot of weight while he's been out there, he does go through those. And for me, I've always looked toward the future and worked hard for it, and all these things. And while other kids were partying, all other kids were playing, other kids were doing whatever, I was working. When my family would go on vacation, I would stay back sometimes, and I would be running my businesses even though I was a minor. And I became really successful. I had a lot of employees, even as a minor, 17 years old. I had 10 full-time employees. By the time I was 18 or 19, I had 300 employees. So I've always worked hard and looked toward the future. And then I got married, and my wife wanted more stability. I was working 80 hours a week, and some months I would make 20,000. Some months I would lose 5,000. And so I went back to work at one point, and then I totally hated it. And I ended up starting my own business in the same field, and did well for a long time until 2008 hit and the whole world fell apart. And then I went back to the corporate world, where I've been now for a while, even though I still run my own part-time businesses. But every once in a while I will be like, what's the point of all this? You know, if you do all this work and in the end, what do you have to show for it? And I've shifted direction quite a bit to, instead of always being worried about making the big money and being rich, being important, all those different things, to having the experiences with family and things like that. And that's a big change for me. But every once in a while now, I stop and I think, what's the point of everything that I'm doing? Especially when I have downturns. And I think, you know, I drove, probably 30 hours a week plus. And at the end of the month, you'll have a negative month sometimes. And it's easy to forget that the month before and the month after you made 20,000 or 25,000. And it's hard to get wrapped up in the moment. And I feel like that's where I've been lately, is wrapped up in the moment and frustrated. But I guess recognizing that is a big thing and will help move forward. Anyway, talked to him for quite a while, and it made me realize all this. Even though I knew it, it made me really see it. And he could tell by my voice that things weren't going great. And he asked me about it, and I talked to him, and he's like, you know, that's exactly what I'm going through. How about that? And you remember when we used to do this, and remember when we used to do that, and remember that one time when you did this for me, and it was so funny. And, you know, we talked about that for a while. And, you know, I used to get so frustrated with this guy because he would just repeat things a lot. And it was his way of processing things, is asking the same question over and over sometimes. And now I realize that we kind of balanced each other out a little bit. And anyway, I did miss him when I went to Vegas. They didn't call me, and I was so busy and wrapped up in everything that I didn't say, hey, let's get together. So we didn't see each other when I was out there, but he is coming to this area in August. He and his brother's been coming here for years, because this is where they were raised. And they have like a family reunion, which is really more of all the cousins and brothers and sisters getting together, having lunch together and talking and stuff like that. So that will be in August. So I'll see him at that time, and I'll probably be back in Vegas in October. I'll probably see him at that time as well. So anyway, yeah, that was it was interesting, and we talked for a really long time. And then I had to let him go because I've got a property out in Colorado I'm trying to sell, and the realtor was calling, so I had to let him go. So anyway, letting you go for now. I'll be back. Alright guys, so still on my way to the first spot, sorry. So I decided to ask ChatGPT. I said, I was just, you know, because of what happened in Vegas, and then even early, end of last week or whatever, with the ups and downs that I've been having, I said, I make my living as a card counter. Lately I've been going through a downturn. What can you tell me to cheer me up? And ChatGPT says, even the most skilled card counters experience downturns from time to time. Remember, it's all part of the game. Use this time to reassess your strategies, sharpen your skills, and come back stronger. The ups and downs are what make the victories even sweeter. So that was pretty cool. So I'm trying to just learn more about ChatGPT and use it more in my daily life instead of a Google search, to try to get more accurate information without having to go to 20 websites to learn about something. So anyway, I'll be back. Alright guys, just leaving that casino. I don't know how long I was in there. I think probably about 25 minutes would be my guess. I didn't pay attention to the time at all. I went in, I looked around, and I found one machine that was in range. I played it through. It was about $2 a spin, and ended my session ahead $373. So good start to the day, good variance, good news. Everything's going in a positive direction. We're going to try to build on it. I didn't see too many people in there. I only saw one manager in there, casino manager. He likes to walk around. I mean, this guy does some laps. He must have good shoes, because he goes around that casino about 10 times in the half hour that I'm normally in there checking machines. I looked at blackjack as well, but there was no blackjack table open. There were free bet tables open and not blackjack. And I hope this is not the trend going forward, that they're going to try to get people to play free bet because no one wants to play the 6 to 5 blackjack. And this is enticing enough that people might play free bet instead. So yeah, overall a positive start to the day. My son, last night, my son says, he's been trying to do some odds and ends jobs to make money, and he's a smart kid, and one of his sisters also, they do umpiring for softball and baseball, and what else do they do? He babysits also, and he's thinking about starting a power washing business. So we have a power washer, and he took care of his the power washing at his grandma's house and our back porch. And he rearranged the furniture and cleaned everything, and really worked really hard on it. And he's trying to make some money, and he's an investor. He's already saved a lot of money, and last night he's like, can I give you some small bills to get some big bills from you? I said, sure, as much as I hate the small bills. And he gave me about $800 worth of 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, and a couple 50s. And I gave him the money, and then he said, would you invest this for me? And I said, sure. So I moved it over immediately from my bank account to his bank account, his investment account, which is an account he can't withdraw money out of till I think he's 21. And he does put money in there periodically. So I put $800 in there for him, and this morning, actually, the market's opening soon. This morning I will buy, he wants to buy spiders with it, SPY, which is the S&P 500. He's got a lot of DIA and QQQ already, and this will help balance out that stuff. And then after this, I'm going to show him some more complicated types of ways to play the market. I like to keep things simple, so just these three for now. But later on, I'll show him some other things that he can invest a smaller amount in to have it be even more balanced. Things like precious metals and things like that. So anyway, he did give me a $50 bill that was a star note, which is unusual because he knows I collect star notes and he likes them too, and he just didn't pay attention to it. So he gave me that. But the whole point of all this was to tell you that he gave me so many 1s and 5s, and I had just given the bank about $5,000 worth. But so right before I left, I put about $100 worth in the slot machine before I cashed out, so my pockets aren't bulging so much. So anyway, right now I'm moving on to the next casino, feeling pretty good so far. Temperature's already up to 77, and it's just 9 o'clock right now. So moving on, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So better experience than I've been experiencing lately. I go in here, I look at slots, I see just a couple small plays. I play one, I make like $20 or $30, play another one, make another $20 or $30, and then I go play blackjack. and go to the high limit area, sit down. I'm the only one back there. Play the lower limit table, sit down, buy in for 500. And I noticed that the shoe had already started. I'd say about less than a half deck had been played. Penetration here, it's about 3/4 to 1, so I'm dealing with basically 1 to 1 1/4 penetration, because whatever someone else played, you put that at the back of the shoe, pretend it's in the back of the shoe, and you have to do your math based on that. So if I had 3 decks left, but 1 deck had already been played before I got there, which was not the case today, but if I had 3 decks left and 1 deck had already been played, I'm going to take my running count and divide it by 4, because there's really 4 decks left, if that makes sense. So played that first shoe. By the end of that shoe, I was down about 700. Played the next shoe, I was down about 300. Played the next couple shoes, and things started getting a little bit better. And finally, I ended a shoe ahead of $530. So I decided to take a walk plus $530. So I continue on in the casino, look at some more slots, and I see a must-hit by jackpot. It is a $250 must-hit by jackpot with a lower jackpot of $100 that was pretty far away. So did my calculation and figured it was a positive play. And if you don't understand that, go back through the episodes. There's information about that, or contact me and I'll explain it to you. But basically, you got to do your math, figure out where you are, what the potential wins and losses are, based on return to player at, let's say, 80%, 70%, 60%. You can kind of figure things out. I figured even at 45 to 50%, I'm going to do well. So it was in a really good spot, to say the least. It was $2.50 a spin. After about 200 spins or so, I hit the lower jackpot. At this point, I had a total of $100 invested in the machine, and then I checked and I noticed that the lower jackpot and the middle jackpot, which was a 250, are going to hit at almost the same time, like almost exactly the same time. So I kept on playing. I ended up having to put another 100 in there, but didn't use that much of it, and ended up playing through. And then this lady that I know, this like glamour black lady with like the bling glasses and all, this super nice lady, real good friend. So she comes up to me and, "Hey baby, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm all right. How you doing?" "Oh, I'm just going up to play some blackjack." I said, "Okay." She said, "You already play?" I said, "Yeah, I won a little bit." And she's like, "The key is, if you win just a little bit, you got to go, because otherwise you lose a lot of money." And we went back and forth a little bit. She's got her arm around me and real close, and I'm like, okay. And then so she leaves. Continuing on, I'm about $5 away from hitting the $250 jackpot, and just going, and I had to put a second 100 in there, so now I'm in for a total of 200. And then she comes back, and I am 4 spins away from the $250 jackpot and 5 spins away from the $100 jackpot. And I'm like, "Watch this, I'm gonna hit both these jackpots." She's like, yeah. I'm like, "Okay, watch." And I hit it, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." I said, "Watch this, one more spin, I'm gonna hit the other one." And I hit it, and she was on the phone with someone. She's like, "This guy knows when the machine's gonna hit. I can't believe it." I'm like, "Well, it's easy. Look, right there. You see where it says 99.95, and it says must hit by 100." And she's like, "Oh, you're so smart." I'm like, "Yeah, I know I am." So anyway, I ended up ahead $206 on slots, and that 530 on the blackjack. So far so good. A little bit of stress, not too much, but keeping a good attitude, trying to keep my chin up, do all the right things. And I am moving on to another casino. Generally, I play a higher limit at this casino, but today I think I'm gonna go with a lower limit, just to keep my sanity right now, take some baby steps and getting on the right track. Still gonna try to make the same money, but we're just gonna take it a little bit slower, and then I'll be back and let you know what happens. All right, guys, I'm back. So here's what's going on right now. I moved on to the next spot, and a friend of mine was coming here also. So I got here before him. I started looking around, found a few slots to play, and I was ahead like $30, $20, something like that on slots when I went to play some blackjack. I went and played blackjack. Was there for about 30 minutes or so, not too long, had some decent variance, and ended up leaving the blackjack table ahead 700. While I was at the blackjack table, my dealer is now kind of friends with me, and we're going to be getting together probably in the next couple weeks and hanging out and talking a little bit, and I'll be able to get some information from him. I finished up there. I go cash out my chips. I go play slots again, and I end up ahead $168 on slots. So plus 700 on the blackjack and another 168 on the slots. So far so good. The day's going well. My friend shows up, and he had said in a text message that he was planning on going to an Indian casino after this, and I thought that would be a good idea. In fact, if you remember yesterday, maybe I had said that I thought I wanted to go to an Indian casino. So that's probably what we're going to do right now. I finished up in the casino. I'm in the parking lot in my car. I parked right next to his car, waiting for him to finish up and come out. And I think we're going to go to an Indian casino. I did want to hit another casino in town, 2 casinos actually, but that's not that big of a deal. I'm okay with moving on to this other place. And I'm trying to remember how far this casino is from here. I think it's pretty far. Let me see. I've been there before, so let me just do the directions. It's still waiting. It's over 2 hours, I'm pretty sure, from here, and I'm already about 4 hours from home. So we're gonna head up there. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes from here. So yeah. So we're going to head up there and see what we can do slot-wise. I'm going to play blackjack there, and they have a real soft poker game there, and they have real good stuff there as far as food. They have whole sandwiches, big salads, cakes, pies, nice drinks, milkshakes, ice cream, anything you want while you're playing poker. And like I said, the game is real easy, so if I run out of things to do and he's still working on something, I might do that. So right now, I think we're doing pretty well for the day. It's, where are we at? 1,017, like 1,900 already, and it's still early in the day. It's only 1 o'clock right now. So we'll see what happens. I'm waiting for him, and we're going to move on to the next casino, and then I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I'm back. So just to catch you up here, we ended up leaving the city that we were in, and we went to Indian territory, to an Indian casino, and it was supposed to be about a little over a 2-hour drive, about 2.5 hours. Took a lot longer because we got some storms in, there was traffic, they were fixing the road, all kinds of issues. So we finally got there. It's a really nice casino, big casino, and we had heard that they'd gotten rid of a lot of the people who were checking machines and things like that. But there were still a lot of them up there. Walked around, just took one quick lap through and made most of my money on that lap. Spent about 30 or 40 minutes just looking at machines, and I was ahead about 300 and something. And then when I couldn't find anything else to play, I looked at blackjack, and I counted the tables because I do the BJ21 for this place too, and I updated my numbers and everything. And they have a single deck, which I've never played a single deck. I've played 2 decks, 4 decks, 6 decks, 8 decks, but never a single. But it was constantly full, so I didn't get a chance to play. There was no blackjack tables available that I could really play unless I wanted a crowded table. So I went and played a little bit of 1-2 no limit, and this casino is the one I talked about where there's food and stuff back there. It's really good and a decent game. I played for just under an hour. I got a couple slices of pizza, some chips, some drinks, pretty much anything you want, they got it back there. It's like a little gas station back there. anything you want, and played and ended my session ahead, $101 on the 1-2 no limit, and then went back to the slots and played a little bit longer on slots, and finally ended up leaving ahead 540, I believe, on the slots, because I always forget. No, 460. So plus 460 on slots, plus 101 on the 1-2 no limit, and we're heading back to where we came from. And then I'll probably take a lap of all the casinos again that I visited earlier, plus one more. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. I am back in my car. I was dropped off back at this casino where we left from, and I went inside, looked at slot machines, found nothing at all, and just a lot of people in there, and went and played some blackjack for about 40 minutes or so, and just had bad variance. Every other hand I had a 20, and I'm always pushing them. Just very bad variance. My double downs went well, but other than that, things were pretty bad. I was down as much as 1,200 or so, and I was up as much as 450. I ended up leaving with a -4 true count early in the shoe, so you can figure that one out. Plus 100, so plus only $100, and nothing on the slots. Right now it's 11:25 p.m. and it turns out that in this area tomorrow I have a little bit of free play. It doesn't make sense for me to drive home, get home at 3 o'clock in the morning, drive back up here. It'll be 7 o'clock in the morning if I drive right back or something. It just doesn't make sense. So I think I'm going to stay overnight. I think my free play starts at 8 or 9 a.m. I have a meeting at 8:45, and then I have 4 meetings after that throughout the day, starting in the afternoon. So the goal would be to get to the casino early, play the free play some blackjack, go to 1 or 2 other casinos, get some blackjack in, and then spend the rest of the time on the phone calls heading home, in the meetings heading home. I did not bring my laptop with me, which could be a problem, but I think I should be able to do all my meetings without it. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Plus 100 at this place, and I'm moving on to another casino. They're all pretty packed right now, so I don't know how much I'm going to get to play. But we talked about this last week, and we decided that a good idea would be to get some sleep. So after I leave this casino, I am going to head to a different casino and see about getting a room, and then I can get at least a little bit of rest. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I'm back. That was a quick trip in and out, and very positive. Made some quick money at the blackjack table. Shoe went negative, and I immediately left, and no harm done. Made the money and left. So I ended up looking at slot machines, finding nothing. Going to the blackjack area, finding one table that was open, sat down, started playing, started winning. Got to my minimum level, which is 500, and there's other things too, other stipulations, but on the way up it's 500 minimum, and then when it goes severely negative, then you leave. So I ended up leaving ahead 500 on the blackjack, and then took one more lap, and it seems like one of the areas got flooded or something. There were fans on the carpet everywhere, and the area was closed, so a lot of the machines I would normally check were not available. But I ended up finding one machine, playing that through. It was like 75 cents a spin, and ended up ahead $30 on that. So plus 500 on the blackjack, plus 30 on the slots, and it's about midnight right now. So I think what I'm going to do, is I'm going to let you go here in a minute, and we'll start a new episode. I wanted to mention one other thing. When we were driving back up here from the Indian casino, we stopped at a gas station, and you guys know I like beef jerky a lot. I go in, and this beef jerky is so expensive everywhere. Like a 10-ounce bag is like $19, and a small bag is like $8. So I said, how much is this bag? And they said, I don't know. I said, there's no price on there. They said, well, the small one is $7.99. I said, $7.99, let's go, $7.99. They're like, all right, well, there's no price on there. We'll just make it $7.99. So I got this $18.99 bag of beef jerky for $7.99. So that was nice. Right now, I'm going to head off to the next casino. They have a hotel there. I think I can get a free room there. Let's get a free room. Let's look around at slots, look around at blackjack, see if we can make a little bit of money. Let's go to the room, take a nap, and then figure out what to do from here. With there being a safe there in the room, I may leave some money in the room and leave the area and go play somewhere else, and then come back before checkout and get my money. That way I'm not carrying so much money around. The area I want to go to, I don't want to carry a lot of money to. So I'm going to let you go right now. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com, and I'll start a new episode right away.